Boy, it just seems every day, sometimes more than once a day, there's a new jaw-dropping story about Pete Hegseth's incompetence and recklessness at the Department of Defense. So yesterday we learned that Hegseth had an unsecured internet line installed in his Pentagon office so he could continue to use the commercial messaging app Signal, leaving him vulnerable to potential hackers who might be interested in what the head of the DoD is up to. Of course, we also know that Hegseth has used his personal cell phone, which I got to stress in the government is like a real no-no, to discuss sensitive information about imminent military strikes, again, using Signal in multiple chains. Today, New York Times reports, quote, Hegseth's personal phone number was easily accessible on the internet and public apps as recently as March, potentially exposing national security secrets to foreign adversaries. Helene Cooper covers national security at the New York Times, where she was one of the reporters who broke this story, and she joins me now. Great reporting, Helene, you and your colleagues. First, I want to start with just the idea of the personal phone for every member of the government, not the least the head of the DoD. You're told, like, do not do anything official, certainly nothing classified in your personal phone, right?
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me. It's true. I mean, even low-level government officials. I have a friend who works for NOAA, and she does not do any government business on her personal cell phone. And so you can imagine we're talking about the Secretary of Defense here, who is probably one of the most targeted person in the people in the world when it comes to what hackers or what foreign adversaries, when I say target, I don't mean target to kill, I mean target to surveil. Who would be one of the people who would be the top 5 or 6 in the United States when you're looking at officials that foreign adversaries would want to get a hold of his communications device. So the issue is not that Pete Hegseth has a personal cell phone. Everybody does these days now. The issue is that that personal cell phone is easily findable on the web, and he's been doing government business on it. He's been involved in Signal chats in which he texted the flight plans of American fighter jets and when they're going to take off to strike Yemen. So he's clearly been engaging in government business on his personal cell phone, and that phone was very easy to find. That number was easy to find as late as March 27th, when a German newspaper, Der Spiegel, was able to surface that phone. What we found out in our story now in doing this is we were able to acquire the exact phone number that Pete Hegseth used in the Signal chat. Our researchers found the phone number on the web earlier, and so we knew that this was Pete Hegseth's personal phone. But then what we found out this week is that same phone number belonging to Pete Hegseth was the exact phone number that he used in the Signal chat. So there you have the actual going from point A to point B, where he's actually doing government business on it. And that was sort of mind-blowing.
Right. Hard confirmed that it's that number, the number that you can find online, the number of his personal phone, the personal phone that has a Signal, where he's sending these messages, not in sort of the classified channels to people like his wife and his brother. And there's a great quote in here from Mike Casey, former director of National Counterintelligence. This is what he says. There's 0% chance that someone hasn't tried to install Pegasus or some other spyware on his phone, Mike Casey said. He is one of the top 5 probably most targeted people in the world for espionage. And just in case people don't know Pegasus, I mean, there exists software that can be remotely put into your phone that will essentially dump everything in that phone to an espionage agency, even if you're using an encrypted app, because it's grabbing directly from the phone, right?
Exactly. It's called zero-click technology, where you don't even have to open all you have to do for it to grab is you don't have to open anything. It will just see you. It will see what you are writing as you are writing it, as you are texting it. So Signal, for instance, is encrypted at the moment that you're sending and as you're receiving. Once you send it, it's encrypted. Yep. Once you receive it, it's encrypted. But what you can't, what there's technology that's able to do is it's almost as if it's got a camera, on your shoulder and is looking at what you're typing. So if anything like that is on that cell phone, then, Pete Hegseth this would be an intelligence breach. And it's hard to imagine if you're Iran or if you're Russia or if you're China. And China has proven that they're able to do this. So has Russia. China had that. There was that big salt typhoon case last year. They've proven that they're able to do some of this, and that they wouldn't be targeting the Secretary of Defense's cell phone.
Yeah, and I just cannot stress enough. This stuff is day one throughout the entire security apparatus of the United States, from contractors to federal workers to anyone with classification to anyone in any of the military services. Day one, all of this stuff. It really can't emphasize enough how much of a breach this would be if you were low level. It's remarkable reporting you and your colleagues have put together. Helene Cooper at the New York Times. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.